Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Man, we got a legend in the building today. Y'all been waiting on him, man. Some already know him for those that's from that 254. But for those that's in the state, nationwide, man, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Cleo Kirkland, president of Southern Panthers.
What's good, man? What's good, man? First off, I want to appreciate you guys for inviting me out, man. Blessed to be on the Talk 254 show, man, and just try to be here and help out where I can.
Hey, man. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Uh, now for those that are in the Waco area and surrounding, man, you know you're mostly known from being basically the face of the Waco Southern Panthers, man. But we're gonna go ahead and start scaling it down and start talking about maybe things that everybody in the public just don't know. So we're gonna talk about the man himself and how the legend was made. So people love to talk about the legend, but a lot of times people don't like to take their time and understand how was the legend made. So
Man, me personally, man, I really don't consider myself a legend. You know, the legend was Coach McDaniels. He's the one who actually started the Waco Southern Panthers back in 1982. And once he passed away, he left it to us, and we just trying to continue to live his legacy. So anytime we something is given to us, man, we just try to do the best that we can to fill out his dreams.
okay, the key word that I'm hearing is we, and so in regarding a we, I know that your mother played a significant part of that. So
Yeah.
one of my first questions is, man, let's go ahead and break down who were your parents and also who are your siblings.
Okay. Yeah. Man, my mom played a big role. In the Waco Southern Panthers back then. Her name is Carolyn Nelson. Um, RIP to my mom. She passed away in 2020 during the COVID time. And then my pops is Cleo Kirkland Jr. If a lot of people
Okay.
know me by that. My middle name is Trey. So that third
Okay.
Cleo is Cleacham Trey Kirkland the third. So that's where that Trey comes in at. But my father is Cleo Kirkland Jr. Lives in Tyler, Texas. So those are my parents, and then I have two siblings, Carrick Donahue and then Taoki Nichols, that live here in Waco. And then I also have a stepsister, Lisa, So those are my siblings.
All right, awesome. Now, how important were the roles that they play in your life and like in your upbringing, from your mom, your dad, all the way down to the siblings?
Well, man, a lot of people know me, man. Like we actually come from the trenches, man.
Yeah.
Mom, when my mom, raised me, she raised me single household parent. When she divorced my father at 2, it was just pretty much myself and then my two siblings and then my mom, where she had to work 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. You know what I mean? So, man, growing up, I came up in Trimwood, Sherman Miners,
Yeah.
Primrose, Blue Bonnet. You know what I mean? And
I remember
then
that.
she finally met my stepfather. And then he pretty much got us out of there. Got us up into a house. So playing a big role. The big brother, the big sister. That was kind of like the key to it. Key to the glue while my mom was working those two
Yeah.
2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet.
Awesome. Awesome. So, like most kids, man, we kind of occupy our time with sports. So,
Yeah.
we definitely know you play football, but what other sports did you play growing up?
Oh man, mom made sure that we stayed active in everything, man. Football, basketball, baseball. I always claim Southside, man, but I actually
Yeah.
I played for Eastern Little League. So man, we pretty much did it all back in the day. We didn't have these video game systems and all that good stuff growing up, man. So she tried to make sure that I was active in all sports, man. Football, basketball, baseball.
Yeah.
We did it all.
Man, hey, you ain't joking, man. That Atari 2500, he only gonna hold your attention for so long, boy.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't know about that one button, one stick thing. They don't know nothing about that, man. But
yeah, man, yeah. That was the good old times back in the day.
yeah, he was only gonna hold your attention for about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But in regarding of development, your youth development, playing the sports, who you believe that had the most influence in how you trained coming up as a youth athlete?
Man, back in the day, man, we didn't know too much about the training. You know what I mean? We had
Yeah,
hard coaches like Coach McDaniels, Coach Pookie, Coach
yeah,
Ruth. You know what I mean? They were pretty much like father figures to us kids back in the day. You know what I mean? They
okay,
were hard role models, and I think that played a big role into a lot of our guys right now, you know what I mean, on how
mhm,
we coach at this level right now. You know what I mean? So we didn't have no training or nothing like that. We pretty much got it out the mud. And we always have a thing like when back in the day, when you get hit hard and they say, man, his bell is rung. We didn't know nothing about no concussions back then, man. You know what I mean? How these
well,
kids
yeah,
how these kids are playing today on turf and all that, man. We had to play in the sticker bugs and stuff back in the day, man. So,
woo, dog,
just coming up, man, rough, man. I think that's what made me to the man that I am today, man.
gotcha. Hey, born and raised in the Ville, over there on a dark brick. It's a little piece of land on outside that dark brick, but that was
Yeah.
sticker bud heavy. That was sticker.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know
yeah.
when you get hit and when you slide, you get up there where have all the sticker buds on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Kids
Them
don't
the
know
good
about
old
that,
days, man. Them the good days.
but for sure, for sure. Now, on a serious note, you know, as you say, you playing youth football, sixth, seventh grade. Normally, the fork of the road kind of happened around about this time, 7, 8 years, especially the time period that we grew up in, uh, mid 90s, early
Yeah.
'90s. Man, it was a epidemic that was happening across the nation in regard of like a lot of the urban communities.
Yeah.
So a lot of us had that fork in the road. What helped you stay on the right path, or if you did jump off the path, what pushed you back on the right path?
Man, just the guys that we grew up with, man. It wasn't a lot of like if you lived in South Waco, that's the school you went to. You know what I mean? Like when I grew up, it was 4 middle schools. You had University Middle School, you had Wiley, you had Carver and Lake Air. So whatever side of the town you was in, them the schools that you went to. It wasn't no transferring or nothing like that. So the kids that we were raised with, the Southern Panthers, them are the kids that we grew up with, went to Alta Vista, South
Yeah,
Waco, and then we transitioned to University Middle School, man. So
yeah,
we pretty much just pushed each other, man. You know what I mean? And if you see one friend say, "Hey, man, I'm going to go play for the Southern Panthers," they all did it. We all did it, man. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's how we grew that bond. And we still talk to these guys to this day, like Dante Hughes, Laquan Hughes. That's one of
yeah,
my best friends, man. I stayed 2 houses down from him. LaDainian Thomason, we all stay. He stayed in South 25th Street.
yeah.
Datron Walker. I mean, Jason Hughes. It was all of us. So we transitioned that youth football to the middle school level, man, all the way up to high school, actually.
Okay. Now, one thing that I'm hearing, and one thing I see that you active in is I've heard a lot of talk within the last few years of feeder schools. So
Yeah.
like I'm hearing that like Southern Panthers, y'all have reestablished. I don't know if at one point in time it wasn't as great, but one thing I can comfortably say y'all have reestablished relationships with middle school coaches, admin and everything to as you funneling your kids, once they leave Southern Panthers, y'all still hands on with these kids through middle school and all the way up to high school. If I'm hearing you correctly, is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
accurate?
man. That's the goal. You know what I mean? That's always the goal. We're trying to get back to the roots of when we were good back in the day, the
Mm-hmm.
96s, the 97s, man, where we were 2 games away from state. So we when we started this thing, man, the Southern Panthers, that's a select football organization. So we got kids from North Waco, East Waco. We got kids that drive in from Temple. Coach Joe, that's one of my coaches for the Waco Southern Panthers, man. He drive in from Temple. We got kids from Killeen. So it's kind of hard to get those kids to come to the feeder program. But I say about 75% of the kids live in the South Waco area. And then we just let them know, how positive it is to grow up with these kids. We letting the parents know, hey, if you grow up with these kids, through youth football and feeder it into middle school and high school, there's a possibility that you can be successful, like the Duncanvilles and the DeSotos and the South Oak Cliffs and the West Lakes, things of that nature. So, man, that's always been the main goal for us. It is very difficult right now, you know what I mean? But we just gonna keep on pushing, man. You know what I mean? That's the goal.
Man, awesome, man. One thing I know about you, when you deal with an individual like yourself that's go oriented and you done wrote down what the mission is, man, you go get it accomplished, man. So it's only a matter of time. It's not even an if no more in my frame of mind. It's a win. So whether it happens this year, next year, or the year after, it's coming. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I'm that type, man, that like to prove people wrong, man. You know what I mean? Southside been in my blood. That's the coming up, people always ask me, man, where your son gonna go to school, man? It wasn't even nothing to think about. We was going to university, man. Even though university was on that path where they didn't win a game in 4 years, they was 0-40. Yeah. My goal always been, man, hey, we going to university, man. We stay in the South Side. That's the school he gonna go to. You know what I mean? So, man, I like different type of goals and then trying to meet those goals, man. I've always been raised like that.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna talk about you one more time. When you as a high school athlete, what all sports did you play in high school? And what do you think that separated you from your peers? Like, what made you stand out?
Man, in high school, man, we played everything, man. I played football, basketball, baseball, ran track, so I did all that all the way up until my 10th grade year. 10th grade, then we just pretty much did football and track, but it wasn't really a big separation, man, because everybody was on the same level, you know what I mean? Because everybody pushed each other, if you seen one of us, you seen all of us. And when I say all of us, it was all 25 or 30. So we'll get out of football practice, walk across the bridge and go to Mazzio's, eat the pizza. We had Bush's chicken. So, on the first day of school, man, we used to always skip school, you know what I mean, and go to the other schools. So on Halloween, man, we was all together, man, you know what I mean? So I think that's the difference right now. And we're trying to bring that culture back to these kids right now. So if you seen one, you seen all, man.
Man, that's dope right there. That's a dope story right there. All right. Now, when you was in school, what grade were you in when you received your first offer, and what school did it come from?
Man, it was actually 12th grade year, man. We didn't start getting the recruiting back in the day, man. It was different. You know what I mean? We didn't have all the social media, the Twitter, the X, the Instagram. So they pretty much, like our main guy was LaDainian Thomason, and then you had Wayne Rogers. Those were the key guys that the colleges were coming for, but it wasn't a lot of them. You know what I mean? You didn't have they were getting overlooked. So like your Baylors and your Houstons, all of them, they wasn't coming to the school. So I had a couple of offers from Dormouth, Howard Payne University, small universities. So I ended up actually going to Howard Payne University down in Brownwood, Texas. Go Jackets.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, got that education, most definitely. So when you was in college, who was your mentors there? They kind of helped you reestablish how things are done and operated on the college level.
Man, at the college level, man, the mentor has always been my mother. You know what I mean? I was the first person to actually graduate high school and then actually go to college, so that was always a big goal. So when I got there, my freshman year, I was 17 years old, man. You know what I mean? Mom always had me pretty much sheltered, you know what I mean, because she didn't want me out in the streets too much, you know. So when I got there, you see parties every day, man. I was on the verge of fell into college that first year, man. So I would have to say my mom was a big mentor. Playing with those guys out of Fifth Ward and A-Leaf, Houston Yates back then, man. It was a big culture shock, man. You know what I mean? So coming in, man, you had I'm playing free safety. You had 7, 8 at the depth chart. You know what I mean? We had to work our way up, and then back then in college, it was different than the colleges are now. We had what was called 3-a-days, where you practice 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and then late at night. So it wasn't no time to sleep or party or do anything. You know what I mean? Because your feet are hurting and all that good stuff, man. So it's a little different, man.
Okay. Well, when you was in school, what was your major, and how have that helped you successfully transition once you had graduated from college and became a family man and a full-time employee or business
man?
owner?
When I first got to college, I was actually studying kinesiology, and then when I got to anatomy, that class made me change my major. You know what I mean? So I actually went into
I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm proud of you how you pronunciate that word. I can't even do it. I'm like, oh, this boy's smart than the boy.
oh yeah, anatomy, man. That's a tough course, man. So I always wanted to work with kids, you know what I mean, and let them know, where I came from, and maybe I can help someone. So I got my degree in sociology. I got a BA in sociology, and then my minor is in psychology. So and I use that to this day right now, in the career field that I work in right now. So that was my degree from Howard Payne University.
Man, that's awesome. Hey, listen, people, listen, kids, listen, parents. Education is important, and understand this, man. You can be smart and cool at the same time, man. Check out that boy Cleo. You can be smart and cool at the same time, man.
Oh yeah, man. Education rules the nation, man. If you don't have that piece of paper, man, 99% of the time they'll overlook you. Now, there is ways, with your trades and things of that nature, but they're looking for that piece of paper, so you got to have that education.
All right. So right now we're about to transition the conversation, man. We're gonna talk about Mr. Davontrae Kirkland.
Okay.
Mr. 4-star himself, man. Your son D-Train. Now, those in the 254, everybody know, unless you under a rock, about that boy D-Train who wrecking shop down there in at Waco University High School.
Yeah. I appreciate you.
How hands-on were you with his development as a football player, and what other sports did he play growing up as a child?
Oh man, I've always said when I had kids, man, I was always going to, be that dad to be in my kid's life, man. You know what I mean? And when I married my wife, I told her that, I was always going to be there, for all functions. So you know what I mean. I started with D-Train. Actually, he was one of the younger kids that actually started football at 3 years old. With the Waco Southern Panthers. He started at 3 years old. So he played flag football 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and then 6. And then 7, he actually went into starting playing tackle football, man, all the way up. And then, he's been successful, to this day.
Hey, I got a quick question. This man said he had his son playing football at 3 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your expectations of what he was going to do on the flag, and exactly what did he do that made you so comfortable? Like, you know what? Yeah, put it on him. Be ready. Like, man, what did you see at 3 years old that you just knew he was ready to play organized flag football for Waco Southern Panther?
Man, he just, hey, he was a kid when I always had a football around him. I
Yep.
always had a baseball, man. I mean, at 2 years old, he was picking up a football, man. And I said,
Yep.
man, let me go ahead and try to see if this flag football stuff will work out.
Yep.
It was very difficult, a 3-year-old
Yep.
out there, picking flowers and things of that nature, man. And it was pretty much just to get him out the house, man, and have fun, at the end of the
All
day.
right.
So at 4 years old, they were pretty good. At 4 years old, we was in the league where they actually kicked the kids out of the league because they was too physical. A
Oh
lot of
wow.
people don't know about that. Yeah, can't tell you what league it is, but they
Nah,
kicked
don't do
they,
don't
they,
do it.
they, they kicked them out the league. Not him, but the actual team,
The team.
because
Yeah.
they were too physical. And but just to get the kids out the house, man, at 3-4 years old, letting them know, just trying to, just it was pretty much just to have fun.
Awesome, man. That's a dope story. So yeah, they had this kid at 3. Hey, so parents, man, hey, don't be holding your kid back, man. They got all that energy. This is a good way to burn it off, man.
Oh yeah,
get them, find a youth sports team and get them connected, man.
oh
But
yeah.
but we're gonna transition into in this modern day and time. Like I'm pretty sure you saw the interview I did with the White Johnson, and you echoed some of the same thoughts he said. Hey man, growing up, we didn't have all this strength conditioning thing, but
Right.
it's a big thing now. And I
Yeah,
noticed that you actually have your son in it.
yeah.
So uh what type of strength and conditioning do D Train do? And at what age did he start doing that type of at what age did he start doing weightlifting?
Okay, wait. So man, I actually started working with my son far as like bands and things of that nature. A lot of body weight at 8 years old, push-ups, sit-ups, wall squats. I made him do that pretty much Monday through Friday, and then the weekends, you're pretty much off.
Yeah,
Because a lot of kids, don't they on the video games 24/7. So we're just trying to when I had my kids, man, I just wanted to be active. So at 8 years old, I started, and then he actually started training. His first trainer was BJ Kelly
okay.
at 10 years old. BJ Kelly at 10 years old, he was actually the running back out there at Midway High School, and had a facility. And then we transitioned it over to high power fitness with Calvin Robinson.
All right.
And that's where we actually stepped the game up. Calvin, I kind of took hands off, and Calvin Robinson got him to where he was at for as like body wise, strength, speed, things of that nature. So he did that from 10 years old all the way up until about eighth grade year. So now we do pretty much personal training, for as like DB training, with BAM Performance. He's one of the best DBs here in Texas, DB trainers in Texas. He's down in Austin, Texas. So it's called BAM Performance. Matter of fact, he had one Jade that went to Texas. He had one of the guys that got drafted last night. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, we're gonna have a spectrum of people that's probably gonna watch this interview.
Yeah.
Now, for the parents who don't have the additional income or resources to invest into their child the way that you did,
Yeah.
as a coach, youth football coach, and what would you recommend for that parent to do to give their child a chance?
Man, to be honest, man, there's a lot of outlets that's out in the local community, Waco, Temple, Killeen. That's very cheap and reasonable. I mean, you have different trainers out there that I've seen train kids for $10.
Yeah.
Some of them here in the Waco area is free. You know what I mean? They just got to get the kids out there, especially during the summertime. I know when Ahmad Dixon was here, he was doing training for free over at Cameron Park on a weekly basis, and there's other strong young men out here in our community that do free training. Jeremy Robinson, when he was here, he was doing free training for 20-25 kids. I mean, for free. He was just wanting the kids to come out there and get work. So the resources is out here. The parents just have to get out and ask the questions. You know what I mean? We have different media platforms. It's on Facebook that we post, so it's out there for them if they need it.
Man, awesome. And for those that don't know about Jermaine Robinson, man, he got 3 awesome kids.
Oh yeah,
In regarding his training is called GOAT Form.
GOAT Form, yeah.
Hey, and when I'm talking about, he know exactly what he's doing, and that is for free 99. It don't get no better than that.
Oh yeah,
And,
man. I remember one summer, man, Jeremy and his wife, man, they had they were training kids all summer, and then after they trained them, they'll feed the kids, man. So big shout out to Jeremy Robinson and his wife, man, for training those kids. And I ain't talking about 1 or 2 kids. I'm talking about 25 to 30 kids, you know. So big shout out to old Jeremy Robinson, man, you know, for training those kids.
Man, that's awesome, man. So what are the top 3 things that you gave your son early that you learned late?
Oh man. No, number one, man, I tell my son, man, I always give all praises to the man upstairs, man. Because without him, you know, none of this would be possible. So, you know, he has a Bible that he reads in the morning and at night, you know. We keep him prayed up. He goes to church. He gets blessed with the holy oil before the game, after the game. So, you know, first off, giving all honor to God, man. You know, that's the number one rule right there. The second one is also about being humble. You know, don't take anything for granted, because just like the Lord gave it to you, he can take it away, you know. So you always try to help someone else on your journey, you know. Don't act like you better than everyone, you know. So I always tell my son that. And then the third one, man, anytime you get on that green football field, man, go 1,000%, because you never know when it's your last play. You know, football don't last forever. I always make sure, I ain't gonna say my wife makes sure that his grades are on point, you know, and we set high expectation for our kids, man. You know, he can't come in this house without with a B on that report card. You know, he has to have an A. So, you know, so man, you know, the Lord being humble and then just trying to help out another student athlete on his journey and how he got there.
Man, that's awesome. Now, so my next question is, how important was 7-versus-7 football in your son's development?
7-on-7, it I don't think that was the development piece. You know, it did build character, and then it did get the skill players and the quarterback, you know, to where they need to get to, for as like timing and things of that nature. And then also the DBs, you know, just you know, in 7-on-7s, the routes that the wide receivers are running, they're not going to be able to run those routes, you know, in a real football game. The quarterback is not going to have 4 seconds to throw the football, you know. And I think it's not just the developmental piece. I just think it's building the team chemistry between the quarterback, the receivers, the DBs, and linebackers. So, you know, I really feel that 7-on-7 helps out in that team commodity, you know. So now, instead of starting football in June, they start in January, February, and they're just continuing to build that chemistry. So I think it's a good piece.
Man, that's awesome. Exactly. What 7-on-7 team does he currently play on?
Oh man, so which one, man? I mean, every week his main.
Oh, he got multiple teams.
Oh yeah, he got multiple ones. So his main 7-on-7 team is Juice. That's pretty much out of Austin. That's his trainer's team, Bound Performance. So it's called Juice. It's located in Austin. It's a national team where they travel all over the state, all over the 50 states. So that's his main 7-on-7 team. And then his local team is Dynasty with Coach Cuddy, Coach Foster, and Coach Nichols, that they pretty much just jumped on. And then anytime that he's free You got teams that are hitting them up all the time, to go to the OT7, to go to the pylon. So we was just at a tournament with a team called Real Goats last week in Austin. So he just try to get some work in on a weekly basis, and then his high school 7-on-17, which is University High School, they'll be getting ready to kick off here in the next couple of weeks or so.
Okay. Is it true that there'll be D1 scouts and writers at these 7-on-7 tournaments?
Oh yeah.
They're the one who dictate who get what ranking in regarding the stars.
Oh yeah. I actually seen it for myself. I mean, like soon as we walk up to the field, they'll pull them to the side. Not just him, but all different type of kids. And I mean, sports writers from Texas A&M, from Rivals, from On 3, from 247. I mean, they're out there waiting for the kids to do the write-ups or whatever the case might be. Now, as far as the rankings and the stars, I don't really know how he got all of that. But I know for a fact that the sports writers are at those games, like the OT7s, like the DR7s. They are at those games for sure. I've seen it with my own eyes when they actually pulled them to the side and actually did the interviews.
Man, that's awesome. So the next question for those who will be watching this and they're gonna see the flyer that was created. How long have Waco University High School had a booster club?
Man, it actually just kicked off when we had the head coach Kent Laster. So maybe about 4 years ago. From I know when I went to university, we didn't have a booster club. So about 4 years ago, we actually started the booster club with like about 4 or 5 members. Myself, Coach Joe Valentino, which is Coach Smoke, Miss Sauls, Coach Matt Harvey, and then it was a couple other pieces, that helped start it, and then it was very difficult at first, you know what I mean? Anytime you start something,
it's always difficult.
People are not bought into it. And then, a lot of people didn't think that it was going to work, but 4 years later, we are where we at right now,
Awesome. What is the responsibility of the booster club? Like for schools who don't have one, explain what is a booster club and how important is it for the school?
Man, booster club is very, very important, man. We recommend all schools that don't have a booster club, try to get a booster club or join the booster club. And the booster club, man, is pretty much to support our student athletes. Any kid that's at that school that's participating in sports, not just football, but basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis. We have what's called an all sports booster club. So every last one of our sports is part of this booster club, So we're able to assist with like meals, if they need new uniforms or T-shirts or whatever the case might be. That's what that support is for, and that's what those funds go to is those student athletes.
Okay. Now, on the flyer that was made, I see you got like some type of award in your hand. Exactly, what was that award that you won?
Man, that was pretty much an award that we had a sports banquet with University High School, and that was pretty much one of the awards that they gave out to the booster club members. Man, just giving respect and just acknowledging us at that sports banquet. So they do that every year.
Man, that's awesome, man. Everybody, when you're working hard, everybody wants some acknowledgement, man. Hey, so leaders of organizations, man, understand this, man. Get back to your people.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you explain how it started and where y'all currently at. So, what are the top 3 goals currently do the Booster Club have for the new future?
For the new future for us, man, we actually have a Booster Club meeting during football season. We actually have a Booster Club meeting via Zoom every Sunday at 8:00 with the Booster Club members. your key members. And then the goal for this year is $100,000 to just have in there, $100,000. So and that's for our student athletes. So that's the main goal. Some other things that we want to do, like I don't know if you just seen, we have one of the goals was to make sure that our football team had 2 helmets this year. So this year we'll have a black helmet, a white helmet. They've already had 4 sets of uniforms. We're going to try to add on to that. For us, like the basketball team, just adding on stuff that they that they need at the school. For the basketball team, Booster Club was able to purchase them a scoring table. New chairs in the gym. It's just all different type of stuff the Booster Club is able to assist with. So that's funds for those student athletes that's at the school.
Awesome. So what are some methods of fundraising do the Booster Club do? Is it just like how are y'all able to raise the funds to do what y'all doing for the kids in the school?
Right now, and I can speak on the football part of it because we're doing it right now. They have a fundraiser that's going on right now that each kid they send it out to their family members or loved ones where they'll donate to. It's kind of like a little sports app deal, where that and that brings the funds in for the football team. I've seen anywhere from T-shirt sales. So Booster Club is always set up at all football games or all sporting events. So they'll always have hats for sale, T-shirts for sale, towels for sale. The game day brochures. So that's how they're able to generate that money in order to put back out there for the student athletes.
All right. So main reason why we dropped that, man. So when you go to the University High School, those kids ain't trying to harass you. What it is, they gathering funding to help support those kids. So you're hearing from one of the founder members of the Booster Club. You contribute and participate, man. It's going right back to the kids, man. They putting it right back on their plate, man. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
So now, in regard to it's getting close to that time. It's football season. It's right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
And, what do you think is your chances of a university winning district this year?
Man, the goal is always to win. We take one game at a time, man. The goal is always to get the state. That's what we always tell our kids. But the number one goal is always to win to district. We haven't won district in a while. We always right there. The last 3 years, we've always been there to lose that one game. The first 2 years, I think it was Belton. We lost to Belton the last couple of seconds. And then last year we had to go through Brenham, the Brenham Cubs, to get to district championship. And we was not successful. So the goal is this year to win district, get to the playoffs, and then that's where we're going to take one game at a time. And then, the ultimate goal is always to win state.
All right, awesome. Hey, man, this is going to be the last question, man. You gave me 40 minutes of your time, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. With you, we right here in Central Texas, and right here, especially in Killeen and Harker Heights area, there's always a fluctuation of inbound and outbound people. For somebody that's potentially inbound, they got a great athlete, and they're trying to find out, hey, man, I'm trying to put my kid in the right position to be successful. And the way you explained a lot of things, man, it make a lot of sense why a parent will want to move to Waco and put their kid at university. So what would be your pitch to them, man? Why is university a good location and a good school for your child to reside?
Man, I can't if they I don't want to be on the media and say, hey, because then they'll use it as a recruit tactic. But
okay, my bad. That's a bad question. Then my bad.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it like we trying to recruit, but
right. So
it's a lot of positivity in South Waco, and university got a lot of great things going on.
Yeah. So if they're in the South Side community and in their zone to go to university, we always let them know. We family first. we always tell our parents, education is the main goal. Scholarships is free education. That's where we're trying to get our kids to, free education. So we try to put that information in those parents' lives, not just on a yearly basis, but on a daily basis. And we putting the stuff out there like Coach Cuddy them with the 7-on-7 team right now. They're taking kids on campus tours. I know some of the kids went down to Texas State. They took some of the kids to U of H, and then they took some kids to Prairie View A&M. So just we always have a motto: you can't touch what you can't see. So if you don't ever go, how you gonna ever know that that's out there for them? So we do let the kids know that your dreams can be successful, but it's gonna take a little hard work. You know what I mean? And you got to be willing to do it. And then we can say that it's working right now, because when we came into this stuff, we didn't have any colleges. I know when we went on a recruiting trip to Texas Tech, probably about a month ago, the recruiter say, man, I don't know what y'all are doing at Waco U, but we haven't recruited there in 17 years. Wow. So in 17 years, and now, man, we're starting to see the benefits of everything working off. We have maybe about 7 D1 athletes right now that have scholarship offers, and we're going to try to double that by next year, and then the year after that we're going to try to triple it and just continue the growth. That's what it's always been about, getting the free education.
Man, that's awesome. One of the key things that I'm noticing from this whole interview, man, is actually the involvement, man. The adults, man, y'all have to get involved. The household got to get involved. You got to take that additional step, showing that they care. So whether it's the household or the community, neighborhood, whatever it takes, man, that's going to need more adult involvement to help guide these kids, because they still need guidance. And Cleo Kirkland, man, you definitely been like an ambassador of that, man. Like I said, everybody in the 254, man, they know you from the Waco Southern Panther, so you don't walk the dog. And the proof is in the pudding, because you done did it with your own child. You ain't just to be talking, man. You living it. Like you said, you told me from the rip, hey, Hawthorne, man, just say what you got to say, man. I live this stuff. I ain't got to prep nothing. I'm just going because I live it.
Right. When you live it, man, you don't have to read off a script, man. Because when you live it, it just flows. You know what I mean? It just flows, man. And that's what I try to tell people on a daily basis, man. Anytime I have a banquet or whatever the case might be, and I need to talk, I don't need a script. I don't need to read off a paper. I live this stuff on a daily basis. So, you just spit it out, because you're living it,
Man, most definitely, man. Hey, man, I appreciate your time. And thank you for jumping on the show, bro.
I appreciate you, man. Y'all have a blessed day.
How you doing?